You know, it's funny because, we talk about being Superman or even what it's like to be a man. I think somebody cussed early, and I was like, oh. But you know what? When I first really discovered, like, my walk with God, one of my closest friends, Mike Forte, he used to work at the rectory at his church, St. Francis, over on Cullen and Reed Road. And we were studying for a test in college. So I went by the rectory to study with Mike. And so in the rectory, the priests have dinner. So the two priests came down, they had dinner, and they had beer. They had beer on the table. And I'm like, well, the priests can drink beer? Mm-hmm. And we're talking just like here. And one of the priests drops a cuss word. I'm like, the priest can cuss? and so I asked him, I said, Father Chuck, I said, you can drink beer and you can cuss? He said, I want to tell you something. He said, I'm just like you. I sin, I fall short of God's grace, but I made a vow that I'm going to follow God. Mm-hmm. And that made me have a totally different appreciation, because I think a lot of times when people think of Christianity, they think, I can't make any mistakes. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm a sin before I can get up out of this seat to whip y'all at the table.
Man, you can go through the Bible. The prophets all fell short at some point in time.
Absolutely.
But their name is carried on in the good book.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that.
To me, it's having a heart where you can repent for the things that you do, try not to do it. Rob and I talk about this. What is it? And I'm going to get it wrong. It's a thing that I shouldn't do. That I want to do the most.
Mm-hmm. That's called flesh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the flesh talking, boy.
Yeah.
Ronnie said something that I've been chewing on just a minute ago. We talking about when have you seen God's hand in our lives? And Johnny, you said, I can't think when I haven't. But, Ronnie put out there not his hand, but his presence. Mm-hmm. And I think as Tom getting me right on this score.
Because you be cheating, bro.
Okay. Yeah. I'm cheating and you in the lead?
Because I'm watching it, bro.
I'm gonna put on
focus, bro.
Then.
No, because Tom be cheating with you. Finish your story, man.
Johnny, don't worry. God's hand got the score.
Man. Robert got the pencil as we go through. But Ronnie put out there to be in the presence.
Yeah.
And to be in the presence of God. And all of us, the sum total of all our life experiences, we can boil them down to.
Yes, sir.
When have we not been in His presence? Even when you don't think you're in His presence, you're in His presence.
But that's just it. You don't see it, and you think you're doing wrong, but all you got to do is take one step towards Him, and He right there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But I think He puts us in situations where we have to come to Him. Or we have to rely or call on Him. He puts us in these, I don't want to say negative situations, but situations that He already knows ain't going to go right. But He puts us there to get you closer to Him.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that. I've always believed it because that's what I was taught. Mm-hmm. Now go back to that. What are you taught or what are you teaching? Mm-hmm. Okay? You got to teach not only your children, but those who are around you that you cherish or you care about. I cannot let you walk out in the street and get hit by a car if I can pull you back.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's a figure of speech. In other words, if I see you doing something that you shouldn't be doing, it's my job as my brother's keeper to attempt to correct you. Now, you're a grown man, and it's your call ultimately, but it's my charge as your friend, as a Christian, to get you away from that or attempt to. And ultimately, it's your call.
You're not playing.
So I'm a firm believer in that. Firm.
I think it's our perspective, man. The way we start to view things, and I don't. Maturity, time gives you a different way to look at things. And I go back to when has He not? I think it is your faith walk has deepened when you're able to see God's hands in everything that you do. That it come from a perspective that, like I said, wake us up this morning. That's God's hands.
Yeah.
to let us lay down. That's God's
Absolutely.
hand. I give one that, and I go back to, you know, thankful that my mother turned another year older a few weeks ago, right? And I told this before that when I was, yeah, that's right. When I was 15 years young, she had her first open heart surgery, triple bypass. And I never forget as she was in the waiting area, like y'all was waiting on me that time, in the waiting area.
Which time?
I was waiting on
The first time.
Which time?
The first time.
I was waiting on
It's been a couple of times.
The first
Been more than a
time.
couple.
Yeah.
First,
yeah.
Truth be told.
the first time y'all was waiting on me, but as they was rolling her back, you know, she on the
Gurney.
gurney, and she said, "Mama ain't gonna be here too much longer. I just want you to grow up to be a respectful young man." That's what she said. I was 15.
Wow.
10 years later, my mother had her second open heart surgery. Same thing. Mama ain't gonna be here too much longer, right?
Mama here.
That's over 50 some, over 35 plus years on
Wow.
it.
Wow.
But again, when you're able to see God's hand,
Blessings.
you know, blessings that fall down on you, that
Yes, sir.
nothing but him.
Yes, sir.
You know, so I just think it is that as we mature, that you're able to see God's hands, even in what we say the worst of situations, it's still God's hand.
But you know, it's funny you say the worst of situations. It takes a lot of Christian maturity to recognize that even in failure, God is there. Because, you know, when Tom, I don't know if you remember, so many Mondays ago, you were talking about you had, you know, been looking for a job and kept getting no. And, you know, but something told you to keep participating in Bible study. And the next thing you got a job.
Yep.
You know, and the hard part is people think just because you're a Christian, you're not going to have hard times or adversity.
Not true.
Hey, God gives his best servant
Oh wow.
the toughest fight.
Oh wow.
Yep. I can
Oh wow.
like running. See,
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Give me
Ronnie
10.
in there fighting.
I had no idea. Oh
you
wow.
always fight.
Satan. What you got, big dog?
This nothing.
Don't say it, running. Don't say it.
Johnny playing for 20. Hold your man.
Ooh.
Hey, Johnny,
Y'all let
are you
Johnny
sitting-
win.
Is it a Kappa that's giving you all
I've
that
been
money?
holding my man. I want you to play.
I can't tell you hold your man. Your man got the highest score.
My man called. What he called his hand? 10. That's it at the end.
All he needed.
Because I became a vegetarian, man. I'm telling you, it's like a.
Because you became what?
A vegetarian, bro. I haven't eaten meat in a long time, man. So I'm just, you know.
Must have
What made
I was
you do
already,
that?
I was already a winner, so it's really ridiculous
because
now.
last time you were eating
No, he
Coke, not pork.
How long you been?
he just switched.
How long you been doing that?
Since I had COVID, not 2 months.
Is it supposed to help with COVID or something?
No, I didn't have anything in my system, so let me just try. So
No, I'm asking.
yeah.
No, I'm serious.
I don't really have it ain't animal rights. It ain't.
You know he's different, Ronnie. So
I am.
please,
Can you-
please don't.
can you
don't-
continue?
How you get with the pork?
10 to go.
Hey man, I have to tell you, I
10
do
to
love
go.
the fact that so many times, you know, we think that a blessing has to be this big aha moment, whether you know,
These are blessings.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Whether where the clouds part, you know, lightning strike, and it could be as simple as you said, Rob, getting up in the morning. You know, that's the blessing when your feet touch the ground. You know, because a whole lot of people, hey, when they laid out, that became their cooling board.
What
you know,
you say? What the-
they
open
no
this up.
longer are here on earth, and they went to bed like this. Kids in St. Louis, I think there was a shooting
At the school.
at the school. Well, those kids went to school with every expectation the parents did that those children would come back home, and that teacher would come back home this afternoon or this
I
evening.
want to help you.
And they're not coming back home. They're going home, but they're not coming back home.
Man, so I don't want to get
So it's just, I say that to say, we've got to be ever cognizant of what real blessings are. And
look,
quit looking for this.
seen and
I have to
unseen.
win the lottery. I have to get this big promotion. I have to come up on whatever that is. No, it's as simple as, hey, when your child was fussy that morning and you were running late for work, right? Well, guess what? A big 6-car accident 5 minutes ahead of you that maybe that child
Saved
being
your
fussy
life.
saved you from being in that accident.
Absolutely.
Oh, trust me, bro. I'm a firm believer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm a firm believer that blessings come in so many ways that you don't even know.
Let me say this before we forget.
Say it, son.
I'd be remiss if we don't say this. Get out and vote.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Early voting started
Already did it.
Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going
Please.
tomorrow
It started
morning.
today.
No,
Started today.
This started
I
today.
voted today
Today.
before I came over here.
Please do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please do.
Exercise.
And
your
do a little
will.
research on the candidates too,
Please do.
because you can't just go party line no more. They wolfing sheep clothing. What's the
You
purpose?
can't go party line because you have to vote individual by individual.
Right, but I'm saying
Take your time.
110 candidates on the ballot.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm gonna take my time.
They say, yeah. Says by design.
And you can also take your little thing in the booth with you now. If you for name recognition,
Thank you.
I should take it in there now.
Thank you.
Yes, you.
You know what? I can't.
great.
You hit on something. There's still been no resolution for the shooting in Uvalde. There's been none.
Well-
nobody. Hold on.
Okay.
Ain't nobody in jail. People resign. Nobody's been fired. So when I say there's been no resolution, there's been no resolution, and we still got somebody, a governor, who ain't taking accountability for none of it.
No.
He can easily sign in the law, enact certain things to take place. We ain't did nothing. We lost 19 babies. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody kids grow, but me and you got grandbabies.
That's right.
Come on, G.
But that's because
Come
they're
on.
trying to decide
Come on.
whom they want to persecute for this tragedy
Good word.
because they don't want to take responsibility because it makes them look bad.
But you know what?
Dude, there's no way you have 19 people
19
die.
children.
And no
we
one
ain't
has
talking
been-
about adults. We're talking about children.
No one has been charged.
Elementary
Hold
school.
on, time out. So you said persecute. All right, now I think the hard part is that these kids died without question. There has to be some level of
That's how
I've been
it
passed
was.
twice. You know, so we're talking about God's hand on us.
Yeah.
We take for granted that we're gonna walk in His favor all the time.
What's your name?
We take for granted that He gonna be there with us through the thick and thin, not understanding that our day gonna come too. And you talk about these babies at the school,
I didn't hear nothing.
like you said, Greg. You think they going home?
them some-
They gonna go home and play. They gonna do their homework. They gonna get ready for that evening, have some ice cream before they go to bed. You know, get ready for the next day. Let me tell you what I did today. No, what we did Thursday. My grandson got the enjoyment out of Spider-Man. He infatuated with Spider-Man. I spent $25 on a Spider-Man
Costume.
costume.
Well worth it.
He has yet to take it off.
Well worth it. Well worth it. Well worth
He's
it.
sleeping
And
in
man,
it.
listen.
He covered.
Watch it. He cut.
He covered. We're talking about God's hand. That's some theology in that, Doc. That's some theology in that.
Halloween ain't till next Monday.
Yeah, he covered.
It don't matter to him.
Yeah.
It's pawpaw ball.
Got him.
That's
got
a
him
blessing, bro.
Spider-Man.
But the mere fact, I say that you hit on something.
Hey, Greg, play it again, man.
God put stuff before us a lot of times, and we don't see the value in it.
Wait a minute. Yeah, hold on.
The value in that your babies come home every day.
I was trying to block them.
You know what I mean?
Give me
The
10.
value in your wife gonna walk through the front door.
Yeah, that's the things we take for granted.
We
man.
take
Yeah.
that for granted. Man.
Yeah.
You talked about your mama. My daddy, he turned 78 on Saturday.
Blessings, boy.
78.
He gonna get him some new sketches.
we gonna work on that. We're gonna work on old man get some sketches.
Blessings.
But you know,
Stop.
when you talk about just his presence, you can't tell my daddy God ain't real.
Man, what you say?
You can't tell him that.
Tom, can we tell your daddy God ain't real?
Tom, we had to fight your old man, won't we?
Yes, sir.
He
Yes,
throw you out
Lord.
the house.
What they
Get
been-
up out his house talking like that.
What they been through, bro?
That's what my papa said. You gotta get up out of here with that. You can't sit here with that.
Sir,
This is a God-fearing house.
Man, what you
You know,
say?
So I mean,
I see you, nigga.
in all things, man, I think we gotta give him the reverence that he's duly deserved. Even when we doing our shameful acts, when we being less than who he's called us to be, in spite of all that, he still
Yeah.
got his hand on us.
Man, what you say?
And that's the part that's so humbling. You know,
Yeah.
it's like at all you've done, you know, that he still find time and ways to bless you, you know, and
Yeah.
instead of like kicking you aside like we would do some people, you know,
Right.
in a minute.
Tom, that's me. You ain't gonna cut me. Watch this. What I saw a saying the other day. You don't let the same snake bite you twice.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got but one good time to get me.
Yeah.
You hear me? But look how God do
The
us.
same one bite me a couple of times, Ronnie, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I did.
What crazy?
But you know,
We disavow that comment.
I said it.
But no, I mean that's real though, Ronnie. I mean, it's filthy rags
man. Wow.
in the hand, you know. So we trip over. You know what I didn't try to chew on too is that, you know, we talk about
attention.
those dangers seen.
Oh,
You know, when you talk about that accident, you spin it around.
Those
What about the one that you didn't see
Oh,
when you
man.
were spinning? You know what I mean? The ones we don't see. You know, so I just, when you think, you got to think. And I just think every episode, you know, we sitting down here playing dominoes. The fact that we sitting up in the house, ain't got a few concerns, but no complaints.
yeah. What we got to complain for?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Few concerns, but no complaints. That his hand is being able to orchestrate and navigate in our lives. So, you know, as we usually do, man, let's go on and give parting words. Like I said, we normally usually end it by going to church, as we would say, but let's just kick it off. One word we want to give as God and his hand on us for Dan mess around and cough up a lung up in here. So, Tom, kick us off, man. Give us something. God's hand on your life.
Well, like I started off, man, I can't really think of a time where his hand wasn't on my life. You know, I mean, I know I've gotten off the path, but I always felt like God was there to receive me back. You know, and in a lot of instances, probably protect me from some stuff that could have happened. You know. Like you say, you thought you were smart or whatever and didn't get caught. I mean, at the time, man, it's you know, I know it ain't nothing but God's grace that I hadn't been in jail, you know, or shot or killed. You know, I've been around some places with shooting pop off and, you know, and bullets don't have no names.
Come on now.
You know, it's always the person standing way over there that wasn't even involved, you know, and so, you know, I just always remember that, you know, and then everything that I do, I know that I'm like, is through God, that nothing by my own strength, you know. Hell, I could be walking around Beltway right now, butt naked with my pants on my head, you know.
Not be a pretty sight. I was not be a pretty sight.
I was in
But
Walmart
I
this
mean, you
weekend
know,
and saw
I mean,
somebody doing just that.
You could be, man. And so, you know, I
Oh
just, you know, thank him, and I realized that, you know, and I'd never forget that, you know. You know, and that's just the way I operate my life, you know. It's saying thanks.
G, come on, man. Come on.
Oh, my bad. Let me
For
see
me,
my
you
plate.
talked about a little something a little minute ago about, you know, how God is in your life.
What you got, Dan?
For me, it's the spirit of discernment, man. And, you know, you've got to be able to discern things that are around you, people that are around you that are good for you that don't mean you any good. You have to be able to have that spirit of discernment. But for me, if one of my takeaways would be that God's grace is sufficient. And I like to say God's grace is sufficient in all things. I've seen it in two different versions of the Bible. Just that. So for me, we talked about what grace and what mercy is. Again, I always come back to grace because that is that which you don't deserve.
Yeah.
And for me, that's where I live. I do things that I don't deserve his grace and his mercy because that's what this cold, cruel world has shown me. And guess what? Even at my best, what am I? But filthy rags. So guess what? I want his grace. So I send it out to people on a constant about when things happen. I always write one thing and they can always tell you God's grace is sufficient. if I don't tell you nothing else, because you are but what? Filthy rats.
Man, I'm gonna come this way with it.
My player?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, we've had over the last couple weeks, you know, we've had the great privilege to listen to some great preaching over these last couple weeks, and not to say in the years past, but just taking on top of what you said, God's grace is sufficient. You know, we've grown up in a culture thinking that God is omniscient, right? That he knows all things. We grew up thinking that God knows all things, right? You know, that premise is a little off. God don't know all things. Just killed y'all. God don't know all things. God don't know a situation he
Come on,
can't
preacher.
solve.
Come on.
God don't know a sinner he can't save. God don't know a substitute for his son.
Come on.
So when you
Says
talk
something.
about that I don't care what we go through in life, it ain't a situation that he can't solve. So when we look at it from that perspective, you know, even sharing with my daughter today, you know, she didn't think she is as far as she thought she should be. God's grace.
Yeah.
And if it is a situation, turn it over to him. So I think as I done gotten older and time, as you said, there's situations that we ain't always did what we were supposed to do, but God. So man, I'm just thankful. And like I say, the more that I think, I have to go.
Let me jump in here because you hit on two things. I'm
you
going to
gone?
touch on one. That's where I was going through. You know, I'm on the other side of 50 now. We're getting closer to that age.
All of us are, except you, Johnny.
Yeah, I just turned 50 this, yeah.
That's baby boy.
Baby boy.
That little Johnny.
Little baby boy.
Focus, bro.
But I say this for the much. You hit on it dealing with the kids. Man, my prayer and what I ask God for in terms of covering and his hand, it ain't so much on me no more. It's on my children and my children's children. The reason why I say it is, in these 53 plus years, ain't much I haven't done that I didn't want to do per se that is within reason, right? And you know, we've lost a brother who didn't see this day, right? I got the opportunity to watch my grandson grow up. I got the opportunity to see 4 generations of Ronnie Davises right around here. You know what I mean? The blessing is not in me, it's in the seed itself. So I've been praying that the Lord watch over and keep his hand on my children.
Yeah.
You know, my baby is 1,219 miles from me. 1219. Nigga, how I know that? I done drove it. I'm gonna answer that.
What's wrong with you, man?
1219. That's 1,219 miles for y'all who don't know.
Is my play?
And it take you 18 hours and 76
Man, listen.
26
What?
minutes
What?
and 72 seconds.
If
to
she
get to
call,
get
I'm
there.
there in a couple hours. Gonna take a collection. I'm on the next plane smoking.
10. Yeah,
But
10. Yeah.
I pray for he keep his
you get
hand.
Johnny 10
You know, and I tell him, you know, and I'm earnest with that, man. I'm not trying to leave her no time soon. But if you got to take from
Another
me to
10.
bless them, then so be it.
Man, it's powerful.
You know what I mean? Watch my baby out there in Florida, man. Watch my son who trying to raise another young lion. You know what I mean?
Love it.
He a young lion. He trying to raise a cub. You know what I mean? It's man. Listen, God, you ain't got to put all that time on you. Put it on my children. You know what I mean? Oh man, I don't want. Listen, I didn't want to talk about this. I told you I didn't want to because it's too personal.
Jeremiah, come here.
It'll be all up in my stuff, my bones. You hear me? But no, I just for me, it's. I thank him if he don't do nothing else for me.
He's done.
He ain't done enough.
Man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know.
Johnny, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm a little different, bro. When
know you're
when we when we we're talking about God's hand, I recently and always, but just recently, like I'm saying, I'm experiencing a lot of clarity right now, which I'm absolutely thankful for. And part of that is it's almost the opposite, bro. It's almost like God, you are omnipotent. We already spoke that. Everything is yours. Let me experience the best life, right? So I'm asking for more blessings. I'm the prayer Jabez right
spinner?
now. And God is just revealing more and providing more. And it's not necessarily from a material standpoint, but just health, wealth, prosperity, clarity. I'm just walking in something that is not of me. And it's I can't even explain it, man. I can't explain it, but I'm asking. If and from the child's perspective, right? If my son, we go to the store and he asks me for 20 cents so he can buy some bubble gum, son, 20 cents, here's $1. So if I can do that, what can my father do for me? So that's where I'm at. I hope that made sense, bro. But it's a little opposite of what we were talking about, but that's where I'm at.
That's where you at. Dan, come on, close us down.
Somebody
man.
pick up.
Man, so I think a lot has been said, and as I think about it in my life, I think I've stepped so far out on faith at times that God is looking back at me saying, "Are you sure this time?" And if you're sure, I got you. And I think that's the difficult part of faith is God is never through with you. You know, it's just sometimes we get ahead of ourselves and we're so anxious.
Here's my play.
We're so anxious, like that play. We're so anxious for God to take care of the situation that we don't
Says, be anxious
realize.
for nothing.
Say it again.
Be anxious for nothing.
Yeah, you were just
Yeah.
anxious. That was
I
perfect
was very
timing.
anxious.
Perfect timing.
But as you wait on God, the blessing that He has in store is better than what you anticipated.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd leave you with that. You know, definitely be patient and recognize that the blessings that you have in store are far greater.
Let me get 15. I
Person
can't-
I'm going through right now.
Yes, absolutely. My brother. Thank you.
Hold on, Tom got 15.
And I got boats.
I can't. Like,
Well, you know,
really.
like I say, Dan, I think
I
for
was-
all of us, that's a powerful episode, you know, and hopefully, you know, everyone was able to take something from this. You know, we going to kick it, put a little more structure, as we say, to our Big Six. I think we drop a nugget here and there.
Yeah.
But as we always say, we're going to exit out of here. Peace.
Peace,
Love,
love,
and hair grease.
and
Take
hair
whichever
grease.
one you need.
Real
We're
spirit.
out of here.
All right.